person behind SheFarms It. I want to share with you a little bit on my background and how I was raised, and the inspiration on why I created SheFarms It. So I was born and raised on my family's grain and livestock farm in northern Indiana. I am the middle of 3 girls, which is not exactly every farmer's wish to have all girls, because of course usually a boy to help on the farm and then at some point take it over. However, we always tell my dad that he has the best of both worlds, because not only can we help do everything on the farm, we can cook and clean as well and continue to help on the farm. So he's been pretty fortunate there, and he'll admit that. He'll admit that now. So growing up, we did corn, soybeans, wheat, and popcorn. And then we also had commercial hogs and did a finishing unit of the pigs. We sold out of the pigs over the years, and we've changed some of the commodities that we raise, still with the corn, soybeans, and wheat, but we have transitioned over to doing hay as well, and then custom baling with the hay for other customers as well. I was your very typical 4-H FFA member growing up as a kid. I fell in love with livestock at the age of 5 when I had my first bottle baby lamb, and then of course did 10 years of 4-H and showed livestock and lots of projects, and very active in FFA at the local, state, and national levels. I'm very, very fortunate that I get to continue helping donate time back to both of those organizations to this day. I serve as a state coordinator for Indiana for one of the FFA state contests, and then get to judge for 4-H fairs and the National FFA convention as well. Fast forward to college days, and of course, being an Indiana Hoosier girl, the only place to go in the state of Indiana is Purdue University in West Lafayette. So I did my years at Purdue and obtained both my bachelor's and master's degrees in agricultural and extension education. Spent my first 5 years out of college teaching grades 7 through 12 agriculture, and then coaching FFA as well. At that point in time, I had the opportunity to go to the collegiate level and get a little bit closer to back to northern Indiana where the family farm is. So took over actually overseeing an entire ag program for a local community college, and so I get to oversee the program, and I also get to teach, and then I teach as an adjunct professor at another community college, or a university, excuse me, private Christian university that has an agriculture education program, and so I get to teach there as well. My idea for SheFarms It, so I want to share where that came from. About 2 years ago, one of the years we were baling hay, like we do every year, but I was baling hay in the middle of the summer and thought, I'm going to videotape what I'm doing and then share it on our Facebook page that I have for the college ag program that I run. So I thought I'll show them how the baling operation works and then just post it to our page. And I did a few more after that, but really focusing on how the equipment works and the purpose of it and what we're doing with it, and then sharing that with my students so they can get a real feel for what it is that we're doing out here. So fast forward to where we're at today. Why all of a sudden this? Well, COVID-19 hit the United States in early 2020. With that, we were told that we had to move all of our classes to online only. Now try taking agriculture, lab-based, hands-on classes and running those all online. Not exactly the easiest concept. I had lots of labs planned, as I do every year, and we were gonna be out in fields just like this. So I thought, what better time than to try to launch this? And my original plan was just for my students. And the passion that I have for agriculture and education, thought, let's make this public, and hopefully some people can learn along with my classes as we go. So I needed a name and I needed a logo, so I asked lots of my friends, when you think of me and you think of agriculture, what comes to mind? And the SheFarms It was my favorite name that was suggested by one of my friends. And then the logo, I knew I wanted something that had the feminine side but yet agriculture tied in. And so if you look at the logo, the red lips stand out, the blue eyes, and the colored logo because of my blue eyes, and then the long eyelashes, which I don't have, but it looks neat on the logo. And then the hair is unique, and I chose the hair. It's not braided, it's actually wheat. So that represents agriculture, but more importantly to me, it represents my grandpa on my mom's side. So mom grew up on a farm, and I was 3 years old. Mom has a picture of me and my grandpa's wheat field, and it was his last wheat field. So for me, the wheat means a lot. So this logo has a lot of meaning as well. My hope through the She Farms It social media, through YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, so check me out on any of those and follow, is that you can ask questions, you can watch what it is that we're doing out here on America's Family Farms, and learn a little bit about where your food, your clothing, how we build buildings, the materials that we use, where all of this is coming from, and why we're doing it, how we're doing it, so you can learn along with us. As I mentioned, follow along on Facebook it's SheFarms It. I've got Instagram, SheFarms It, and then the YouTube channel as well. Feel free to email me questions with the Gmail account, which is shefarms1@gmail.com. I'm going to leave you with one of my favorite quotes, and it's a quote that my students are very familiar with, and whenever I do public speaking events, it's the one I always end with. It was given to me my first year of teaching by a student within the first few weeks of school, so she didn't really even know who I was at that point. And she handed it to me and said, "This reminds me of you." And the quote is, "Nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm," by Ralph Waldo Emerson. And I thought for a minute, that is how I like to live my life, and how exciting that a student picked up on that. So here's my challenge to you. I have found what it is that I'm passionate about and enthusiastic about it. My students often joke because I have a big thermos of water and they think it's coffee because I'm pretty high strung. It's water, but it's because I love what I do. I'm so passionate and enthusiastic about it. I challenge you to find what it is that you are passionate about and go about it enthusiastically. And maybe it is or it is not in the agriculture world, but I'm excited that you chose to follow along with me and learn a little bit along the way. Thank you for joining, and welcome to She Farms It.